What would it take to fight Tom Aspinall from the UFC? Like, what does the UFC got to do?
Set something real wild on off the cuff. I'll see you guys later.
That's it.
Yeah,
right.
thanks for.
Nah, man, Jones retired. What are we talking about, guys?
Jon Jones called us last night and retired. Jon Jones is officially retired. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion of the UFC.
Jon Jones is officially retired. The Jones-Aspinall saga is officially over, and it ends with Tom Aspinall being promoted from UFC interim champion to UFC undisputed heavyweight champion. Now, I just put out a video yesterday talking about this topic with Jon Jones walking off of the Nelk Boys podcast, and we knew this was coming. Like, literally, the video I put out yesterday said Jon Jones is not going to fight again. Aspinall is going to fight someone else. Is it Pereira? Is it Ciryl Gane? Is it Alexander Volkov? Here we have literally 24 hours after I say that, Dana White says that Jon Jones called us last night and retired. So literally as I posted that video, Jon Jones was on the phone with Dana White retiring. This is what Dana White had to say in the post-fight press conference at UFC Baku in Azerbaijan, where Khalil Roundtree absolutely dominated Jamal Hill in the main event. This is Dana White announcing Jon Jones's retirement.
The timeline for Jones, 2 weeks to decide what to do with the title, whether it takes the fight or you're going to strip him. What do you think is more important, to keep the belt there so he can uphold his legacy, or we move the heavyweight division, take the title away from him?
Jon Jones called us last night and retired. Jon Jones is officially retired. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion of the UFC.
And you can see from Dana White's facial expression, he is not happy about this news. But I think most of us are bummed about the fight not happening, but very happy to finally have a resolution to this saga. We were all tired of this discussion. Jon Jones exhausted all of us. Another tally mark on the tainted resume of Jon Jones. Now, nearly a year ago, Tom Aspinall said this about his matchup with Jon Jones.
Continue to go completely quiet about me until he retires, because there's no way on earth that he's going to fight me. Not a chance. I will retire Jon Jones without even fighting him. Full Violence posted this saying, in another lifetime. It's basically that. On some other timeline, in another dimension where Jon Jones does not duck every single tough challenge in his career. He's the only fighter that the UFC has canceled an event for. He's the only fighter that the UFC has moved an event for on like a week's notice. As far as actually in the cage goes, I know he has plenty of accomplishments, but steroid cheat multiple times over, multiple failed drug tests for steroids, performance-enhancing substances, cocaine, a bunch of things. He fled the light heavyweight division after the Dom Reyes fight, ran from Blachowicz, Prohaska, Ankalaev, a rematch with Dom Reyes. He ran from all of that. And then he stayed on the run as he did not compete for 3 years to move up to heavyweight, which was really just ducking Francis Ngannou. It was supposed to be about being in the right shape so that he wasn't a fat heavyweight. Francis Ngannou leaves the UFC. They book Jon Jones versus Ciryl Gane on 6 weeks notice, 5 weeks notice, and Jon Jones shows up looking fat, which goes against everything he said about why he was out for so long. They book him against Stipe, who nobody really wants to see. It gets delayed for a full year. Tom Aspinall gets crowned interim champion. He ducks Tom Aspinall and fights 43-year-old Stipe, coming off of a 3 or 4 year layoff with a knockout loss to Ngannou in his most recent fight, beats him, and then runs from Aspinall into retirement. Good fucking riddance. Ruining a division, holding up 2 divisions in less than 5 years, leaving the heavyweight division in a terrible place, leaving the light heavyweight division in a terrible place until Alex Pereira saved it. Jon Jones is not the GOAT. He's not. And all of that was just in-cage drama. That was just in-cage in the UFC. And he cheats in fights as well, but that's all UFC-related knocks on his legacy. Jon Jones wanted to protect his legacy so bad that he ruined it in the process. And now nobody respects him. Tom Aspinall is the real champion. He has been all along. You set aside all the UFC-related drama with Jon Jones, you have all the outside the UFC drama. Hitting the pregnant lady, beating his wife, getting arrested, drunk driving. So many outside the cage things, along with everything that came through with the MMA Guru series about Jon Jones. You guys know what I'm talking about. He's a disgrace to the fucking sport. And for some reason,
we had him crowned as this GOAT. When we have people like GSP and Demetrius Johnson that deserve the praise that Jon Jones gets. Now, this is Dana White going a little more in depth about Jon Jones's retirement and speaking on Tom Aspinall as a champion going forward.
Do you somewhat regret the time that you gave Jon Jones to make his final decision, that it took so long and the whole division?
Do I regret the time that I gave him?
Yes.
Listen, if you look at what he's accomplished in the sport, no. It is what it is. I obviously feel bad for Tom that he lost all that time and obviously money, but yeah, we'll make it up to him. Tom Aspinall's a good guy. He's been incredible through this whole process that we've gone through. He's been willing to do anything, fight him anywhere at any time and do this, and now he's like, I'll fight anybody. You tell me who and I'll fight him. So Aspinall's been great. He's going to be a great heavyweight champion for us, and I'm excited to work with him.
So he's excited to work with him, but they've been working with him. He's been in the UFC for years. He's been interim champion for 1.5 years now. Almost 2 years. November is 2 years of Tom Aspinall as interim champion. I know now he's undisputed, but I think deep down Dana White regrets the time that they put into trying to convince Jon Jones to take this fight, because they wasted 1.5 years of the prime of their next big heavyweight star. Now, I think Tom's going to be just fine. He's going to be around for a while. He's going to run through this heavyweight division for 5 more years, in my opinion. But this is a huge egg on the face, weak moment for the UFC. I know that they were trying to play hardball and say Jon's got 2 weeks. I was just saying last night in my video that Dana needs to move like Tony Soprano again. But they look weak. They couldn't get Jones Aspinall done. We didn't get Topuria versus Makhachev. We didn't get Conor McGregor's return. The UFC has been looking really weak in the eyes of the fan base lately, and we finally have some sort of resolution in the heavyweight division. I think Tom is going to go on to become the best heavyweight of all time, in my opinion. Here's a little bit of the community's response. This is from ACD MMA. He says, Jon Jones refusing to fight Tom Aspinall is the biggest case of blatant ducking in combat sports history. The baddest man on the planet outright refusing to fight his interim challenger. Yet another massive stain on Jon Jones's legacy. Good riddance. The division finally moves on. And we have another one right here from MMA History Today that says, there was a narrative not too long ago that Francis Ngannou ducked Jon Jones. Neither Aspinall or Francis Ngannou have ever ducked Jon Jones. Jones has always been the one saying yes or no. Jon Jones is such an egomaniac, such a narcissist. It has to be the Jon Jones show wherever he goes, where he gets his way and he feels catered to. And the fans are just done with it. The fans are done with it. He fried his egg, and now he is retired. He whimpers away from the sport, limps away from the sport with a damaged resume. And really, now that we have this resolution, the only thing I'm kind of bummed about is that Tom Aspinall did not get the crowning moment that he really deserved. Tom Aspinall deserved to get the belt put around his waist and called and new world heavyweight champion in the cage, with Jon Jones looking sad that he just got beat right there next to him. Instead, they just give him a phone call. Hey, Tom, Jon retired. You're the champ. You're in Vegas next week. Let's talk about who your next fight's going to be. I think it's going to be Ciryl Gane, but we could see Alex Pereira get that matchup. We just talked about that last night. I have to make one thing clear. Jon Jones is the most talented UFC fighter, MMA fighter of all time. He beat absolute great, all-time greats in his division on no training camp, such as the Gustafsson fight. And he came back from multi-year layoffs multiple times. I know it was because of his own doing. I will say Jon Jones is the most talented MMA fighter of all time. But is he the best? No. Does he have the best resume? No. Is he the GOAT of our sport? Absolutely not. Tom Aspinall and new, let me know your thoughts down below. It is time for the new era in the UFC. Goodbye, Jon Jones. Smell you later, bozo. Did you like this video? Then like and subscribe down below. I also do multiple live streams per week, along with behind the scenes content and members only live streams for our channel members. So become a channel member for access to bonus content. It's only $5 per month, and it greatly helps the channel's growth. I also do a podcast with my best friend Bo, and I have a non-MMA channel as well called Wyatt's World. You can check both of those out linked below.